Welcome back, HARBROs, to HARBRO Freight, quality videos, lowest prices. And today we're going to go over really part 2 of what you should buy. We did the ratchets a few days ago. Today we're going to do the 30% off Daytona jacks and see the price history and which ones are the best deals. If you find this useful, please consider liking and or subscribing and or hyping, and we'll jump in. Just a friendly reminder, we have the 30% off all $10 and under items, ITC $20 and under. Some great things to get. Hopefully you're out there taking advantage. Let me know what you've gotten, because the list you guys create, guys and gals create in the comments, are extremely valuable for everybody else. So let me know. And then also, don't forget 7 days of super deals going on through the 16th as well. So they're both ending this weekend on Sunday. Has anybody had a chance? Are you able to combine any of these deals? Are they stacking? Let me know if you've seen anything interesting, because we still have today and tomorrow to take advantage. Get your light, get your mini toolboxes, because those are all under 20 bucks. Again, let me know what you're getting, and let's jump in. Again, focus today, 30% off Daytona jacks. Now, there's no fine print here. The clickable ad is not out. Likely, maybe next week, a clickable ad will come out and it'll verify for sure. But today we're doing 30% off of Daytona jacks, price history, course prices, and then just what each one entails. So let's jump in. These are going to be sorted from highest price to lowest price. And starting off with the Daytona 1.5 ton ultra low profile, lightweight, high performance aluminum racing jack with rapid pump. And I know I've seen these. I was a bit surprised that this is more expensive than the Super Duty, which is a little bit wild. But this is compared to the Brunhölzl, where you save $1,050. So that just piqued my interest a little bit. And here we have this Brunhölzl Black Warrior Jack Brunhölzl 3-pump with 48-inch handle, $1,058. This might not be the exact part number. This one shows discontinued. But either way, at that price, that's nuts. Maybe the HARBROs knew this, but I was just unaware that this was the most expensive Daytona floor jack that was available. But let's look at it. Let's look at the reason. Ultra low profile racing jack with rapid pump is designed for clearance under custom and high performance vehicles. Extra long aluminum handle at 48 inches, machined from lightweight aircraft aluminum with anodized finish. Here's the Brunhölzl, both 1.5 tons, both 36 pounds, 16 and 1/8 inch lift height max, both 3 pumps to service height, aircraft grade aluminum for both. And what a world of difference in the price. Only bad thing, I guess, is the 90-day warranty from date of purchase. But for $1,000, cheaper than that, you can buy 4. So here we are at $299. If you're getting this for 30% off, you're getting it for $210. You're saving 90 bucks. So you're saving an arm and a leg compared to that other one. So $210, great deal. But we won't just assume that we're getting a great deal, so we'll verify it. Back in January, it was down to $229. It says as a regular coupon, $229, although the $210 is lower. And back in May, this went back up to 300 bucks. It was down to $280 for a bit in April, and in January it was down at $250 as a regular price. But of course, the price has gone up. But even with that price increase, outside of the unicorn 40% off of all floor jacks, this 30% still has you very close to the lowest price that it's ever been, at least what it's tracked, its lowest. Of course, not lower than 40%, but $210. So if you're in the market for this, great deal. Next, the one we've all come to know and love is the Daytona 3-ton low profile Super Duty floor jack with rapid pump, showing metallic green because this is the new color. We have one new color, metallic green, and it is nice. Of course, comes in yellow, metallic orange, candy apple red, and metallic purple, and coming in at $290. But this 30% off, and this is probably the more well-known Daytona floor jack compared to the Snap-on FJ300. And we'll move straight to some of the product overview. It's a Super Duty steel car jack built to outlast other car jacks over 5,000 lift cycles. So durability is one of the key points for the Super Duty. Hence, the Super Duty has premium quality pistons, internal magnetic filtration system that extends the pump life, dual parallel pump for fewer strokes to lift, low profile design lifts from 3 3/4 inch to 23 1/8 inch. Handle length is 50 inches. Lift height minimum is 3.75 inch. Product weight though is probably one of the downsizes, but you expect that out of a Super Duty. It's over 100 pounds. And then the next all important piece of information is the warranty, which is 3 years from date of purchase. So it's not just a 90-day, it's basically 1,000 days. So 3-year warranty on the Super Duty. And that's where you're getting a lot of the value. So at $290 and at 30% off, you're getting this for $203. Such a high quality floor jack for $200 is pretty nuts, but let's verify how nuts it is. According to the price history, it is as of August back up to $290. For a moment there, it was down to $240 on August 15th. I don't remember what that sale was. It was down to $240, but that was a blip. It's been at $290 since June. It had gone up in price to $300 back in April, but other than that, it's stayed consistent since 2023, basically been $290. Of course, there's been a few coupons getting it down to $240. This crazy deal back in Black Friday of 2023 down to $190, but $203 is pretty close. Not 2023 anymore, but about $10 more expensive, and outside of the 40% unicorn sale, $203 for the Super Duty. Great deal. We continue. The Daytona. This is probably one of the sleeper picks. The Daytona 4-ton professional floor jack with rapid pump at $269.99. I think once we get to these, this is where we're going to see some of the price fluctuations that have gone up or down. Is really going to help us make a choice and understand how good of a deal these actually are. But the 4-ton makes it ideal, of course, for trucks and service vehicles, so for extra heavy vehicles. And it says it gets to the work loads in just 3.5 pumps. Sounds familiar. And at $269, we'll check out some of the specs. Lift height max is 20 inches. Capacity 4-ton. Of course, that's where the big difference is. Handle is 50 inches. Lift height minimum is 4.25 inch. Made of steel. Product weight 102 pounds. And then the all-important warranty is only 90 days from purchase. Again, the differentiation from the Super Duty. So at $270 and at 30% off, we're going to get down to $189. Now, this sounds like a familiar coupon. I feel like we've had this sale before. Getting it down to $190. Solid deal. But of course, let's verify. And it does look like back in April, this went up to $269. It was at $239 for about a couple of years, and it went up in price $30. Went up $30 in April. There was that, I think this was the flash sale? Not 100% sure what sale it was, but back in October it went down to $169, and I think these flew off the shelf. Or they were flying off the shelf. It was a one-day thing, and then of course it went back up to $269. It was $100 off, and some of the coupons had it going as low as back in January to $169 as well. And ITC and regular coupons about $180, and then just before that $164 back in 2021. So at $189, I mean, it's not a bad deal. It's a decent deal, not great, not terrible. 3.6 Rock-In, and equivalent of a chest X-ray. So you're not saving the bank. Not a bad deal, but not the greatest deal we've seen. We continue. The Daytona 3-ton long reach, low profile professional floor jack with rapid pump. Now this is 1 ton less, but it is low profile. It does have the rapid pump long reach. Same price as the 4-ton, $269.99. So it's going to come in at $189.99. The long reach is nice. The low profile is nice at 3 3/8 inch, 100-pound product weight, made of steel, 24-inch lift height capacity. But of course, the all-important warranty information, same, 90 days. And I want to say everything is 90 days outside of the Super Duty. So that's where you're getting a lot of value as well in the Super Duty. So at $270, looks like this one also went up in price in April, up to $270, was traditionally $240, had some sales. Most recent sale was back in October. It went down to $189, shows lowest price that it's been down to was $169. So again, this is going to be under the category of a Dyatlov deal. It's a decent deal, not the lowest price it's been, but if this is what you're in the market for, it's not a bad time to get it. Not a bad time to get it. We continue now. Daytona 2-ton professional racing series aluminum floor jack with rapid pump at $230. It's a 2-ton low profile aircraft grade aluminum, making it easier to maneuver, lifts up to 4,000 pounds in seconds. And just as a side note, if anybody has any of these, please feel free to leave us your feedback in the comments. Always look forward, one, for myself to see the comments, but also for the Harbros to get feedback on which jacks are good and which ones maybe they should not consider or they should consider. Give them that extra bit of information. Looking at the specs, lift height max is 16 3/4 inch. only weighs 42 pounds, which is great. Lift height maximum is 16.75 inch. Of course, made of aircraft grade aluminum. Lift height minimum is 3.5 inches. And then just to confirm, warranty 90 days from date of purchase. So at 230, this 2-ton racing floor jack from Daytona is getting down to 161. 161, which makes these aluminum jacks very enticing to get, to have just a lightweight. Because if you have the Super Duty to do some simple car repairs, you might not want to bust out that 100-pound beast. Not to say that you need 2 floor jacks, but having a, 30, 40-pound 2-ton floor jack that you can kind of whip around the garage for 160, enticing. But of course, let's look at the price history. So again, as we're seeing with some of these, price went up in April 2025, hasn't come back down, has stayed there, went up to $200, was at 180 as of August of last year. That had gone down in price from earlier that year at 190. And then the coupons early November of last year had it down to 130. And that was the price for a few of those sales. Now, there hasn't been too many sales since then. This year has been lacking. So at 160, another Dyatlov. Not great, not terrible, still a good deal, but not the best deal that this 2-ton racing aluminum floor jack has been. Still solid though. We continue. Here we have the Daytona 3-ton low profile professional floor jack with rapid pump. Now this is basically without the long reach and also without the foot lever from the 3-ton low profile long reach rapid pump at 270. So if that foot lever isn't a make or break, save some cash here. Coming in at $200, steel floor jack. Same thing, does have the rapid pump, does have the low clearance. Lift max height 19 7/8 inch. Lift height minimum 3.25 inch. Low profile. Made of steel. 79 pounds product weight, so not over 100 pounds, which is okay. And then warranty reminder, 90 days from date of purchase. And at $200, saving $60, get it down to 140. So we'll take that 140 and look at the history. And again, in April, went up in price to $200. Was briefly last year at 180. Went down last April to 180, but had been at 190 for about a year or two. And then the coupons close to Black Friday, last year, November, coupon had it down to 129. Regular price 129 and ITC coupons at 129. So it was 129 galore last year, along with 140 galore over the last 2 years. And that's where we're at again with the 30%. So again, not terrible, not the best, still a decent deal if this is what you want to come in at. For a 3-ton low profile floor jack, 140, not too bad if you're in the market. Next, the 3-ton professional floor jack with rapid pump in blue. So not low profile, just a 3-ton, just the rapid pump, coming in at 180. Quick specs, max height 18.25 inch, 3-ton capacity, of course, made of steel, weighs 70 pounds. Lift height minimum is 4.75 inch, weighs 70 pounds. And of course, 90 days warranty from date of purchase. And at 180 with 30% off, you're getting this down to 126, which is a good deal on a floor jack in general, but I fear it's going to be the same story as the other Daytona jacks. 126 though, not too bad. Let's look at the price history. And this was down to 110 recently for both ITC regular coupon and looks like regular price back in August. Did jump up to 180 as of April, as is the story with some of the other jacks. Was down to 160 for a bit last year. Oh, for about a year. From April to April, it was down to 160. So did go up in price. $20 had been at 170, and the coupons as low as 120, well, as low as 110 just a couple months ago. Before that, it was 120. So it coming in at 126 with the coupon. Similar story, not bad, not terrible. 3.6 rockin'. Next, Daytona 1.5-ton professional racing series aluminum floor jack, 140. Same story, aircraft grade aluminum floor jack, lifts up to 3,000 pounds. If you're not doing too much heavy work in your garage, lighter than steel, easy to maneuver, 14.1/8 inch lift max height, 37-inch handle, only weighs 32 pounds, which is nuts. Lift height minimum is 3.5 inches. Warranty information 90 days from date of purchase. So at 140 with the 30% off, you're gonna get down to sub $100. So the first sub 100 floor jack is the 1.5-ton aluminum racing floor jack, $98. But again, we won't be fooled. We will look at the price history and actually look at this, a pleasant surprise. A pleasant surprise in that as of September 26th, it's gone down in price to 140, had gone up back in May up to 150 when it had been consistently at 135 over the last few years. So it didn't go back down to 135. It's gone up $5. It's up to 140, but good thing they brought it down from 150. That being said, 140 is the new price. There was a deal on this for 124 back in July. Lowest price it's been is $97. So, well, $98. And actually, with the 30% off of 140, that's the lowest it's been. Again, outside of the unicorn 40% of last year, $98 matches the lowest price for the 1.5 ton. So good to see it. Great deal if you're in the market for this kind of floor jack. And those are the Daytona floor jacks that you have as an option. Some really great deals, some not so bad, not so terrible deals. But those are the Daytona floor jacks. Any of these that you have already, any of these that you recommend or you recommend avoiding? I've heard stories of different ones. I feel like the Super Duty feels like the obvious pick, but not everyone needs a Super Duty. The 3-ton low profile long reach with the foot lever is the one I hear a lot of positive things about. But HARBROs, let me know. Let me know what you've got on this weekend. Please consider liking and subscribing. I do want to get to 20,000 subs by the end of the year. That would be great. But either way, as always, happy harbor freighting, happy shopping. Don't forget your deal this weekend and your super ITC deals. And then as soon as I have some more deals, I will send them your way.